morning and welcome to HBC's inaugural Twins Talk with Senor Smoke. I'm Landon Evanson, and in a few moments we'll be speaking with 1987 World Series winning reliever Juan Berenguer. But first, we're going to give you an idea of what this show is all about. Each week we're going to touch base with Juan to talk Twins baseball, the week that was, the week ahead, Joe Mauer manning first base, the rotation, the bullpen, any and everything that has to do with Twins baseball. And with that, it's opening day around the major leagues, so our Berenguer word of the week for the Twins tickets is new. Drop the word new to Senor Smoke at hbci.com, and you'll be entered in our drawing for 4 tickets to see the Twins take on the Kansas City Royals on April 12th at Target Field from Section 116, Row 1, Seats 5 through 8, courtesy of Fox Sports North. So once again, hit us up at seniorsmoke at hbci.com with the word new for your chance at the tickets. So without further ado, we're joined by Juan Berenguer. Juan, how are you this morning?
Good, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you guys and talking about this season is coming for the Twins.
Oh no, believe us, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. It's opening day, like I said, so you experienced your fair share of those over the years. As a player, does the magic of opening day ever wear off?
Yeah, I talked to Tony. Tony's back from spring training Saturday. I talked to Tony on a couple things, and he said Ricky Nolan maybe he gives a good 6 innings today, and then see what he got to the bullpen and there, and then bring to the close. And then Tony said they're looking really checking in the hitter, but he can be different when you start the season. And I think they're looking for that, and especially the manager and the Twins organization, we can have a successful year this year.
Mm-hmm. You know, the Twins rotation really struggled a year ago, so General Manager Terry Ryan went out to improve the situation by acquiring Ricky Nolasco, Phil Hughes, re-signing Mike Pelfrey. They've all thrown well this spring, with Kyle Gibson putting up impressive numbers. How strong do you think Minnesota's starting staff is heading into the season?
Well, Tony said Ricky Nolan and Phil Hogan and the rest of the guys and the what do you call it, the fish started who win the spot. And then Tony said he looked like a little shaky area, but he finished the run. He win this fish spot and then see what he got from there. Because the Twins really count more to the pitching, and I think that a lot of these guys throw a lot of pitch into the fifth inning, and that's to be the bullpen. He has to be strong to continue to go in there on 162 games. Mm-hmm. And I hope so this guy he can help it a little bit go to the 7 or to the 8 on time. And I think that's the reason. The last year he had a lot of fall, and I lost another 90 games.
All right. Yasmil Pinto performed well during the exhibition schedule, and a catcher the Twins are very high on. They expect him to be the catcher of the future. What do you expect from him, and what should be his first full season, and what kind of player do you think he can develop into over the next few years?
Well, you know, the thing is you put a lot of good things in there, and then see the catcher is going to be replaced by your Mauer when he went to first, and I think that he played for the Oakland A's, and he did a good job in there and behind the home plate. And also Tony talking about Jim Willenhand, and also you have a scholar year the first time he coming to here and replaced one of the left fielders who win the championship last year for the and then all the teams. And I think that he put a solid year because he's coming soon in free agent too. Then he hit a 25 home run or 30 home run, and he did it the first year. He gonna be fine and having a Kubo is still there. He can wait coach for a little silent, and he can hit another 25. And they have another guy who will be played, Oswaldo Arias. He can be potential to hit another 25 home runs. And they have it at second base, so he hit a 18 home run last year. I think that he can be one of the big potential and put another 20 home run this year and about 80 RBI. And I think that the thing can be fine. And then Mauer, he can wake up and then try to hit a 300. They can hit a 280 or 290 with a 25 home run. That's going to be a perfect.
Mm-hmm. You know, though Pinto is the receiver of the future, how huge could it be that the Twins have a veteran like Kurt Suzuki behind him?
I think it is going to be really potential. He's a great, and I hope tomorrow when he can catch him from day 1 game or 2 games, he can give a weight in there. And I think between go have fine in there. He's a good, solid catcher they can bring in there. You have a lot of protect the home plate, and I think they think he have a future in the home plate. Now, hopefully the starting pitcher, he can go a little longer than the hitter they started to wake up, and especially everybody looking for having a great season this year because they have start getting here, and everybody looking for it.
Mm-hmm. So it has to be asked, though the plan was not for Miguel Sano to start the season at third for the Twins, it certainly seemed possible he'd eventually take over at the hot corner. And then, he ends up getting requiring Tommy John surgery, and set to miss the season. Of course, Byron Buxton potentially looks like he could be the starting center fielder for 2015. How far has Sano's injury set the Twins back in terms of a timetable to compete, do you think?
Well, I talked to Tony, and he said he get hurt a little bit in the winter ball, and that's when he come in. They give it a little hole in there between looking for having a lead 30 home run and 100 RBI for that kid. And I talked to Tony about the third base, and then he said he can probably go be hit, but he not can catch too much, and I think the hole is still open in there, and also the thing you can look for somebody earlier and not to be late. And since he left, and I think that hole is being there since a long time ago, and I think he should try to find somebody and it can be successful because that's the corner that everybody like to have a nice player and make it a good player and then help the teams.
All right, Miguel Cabrera, you played a few years in Detroit. Just inked a massive contract with the Tigers. Clearly, that's a good deal for Miggy. But do you feel such contracts are good for baseball in the long term, like 10-year contracts?
Well, he's one of the best guys and the best hitter. I see him when last year I went in Detroit and the owner of me for the weekend. I saw him prepared and for the games, and he do a lot of stretching, a lot of things that a lot of the players not do it. And I think that that's keeping him. And I know it's one of the bigger contracts. And a lot of the guys did it. These guys from Seattle come up, and it's hard to figure out how much they making out. But I guess he deserves it through MVP. The last 4 years he playing there, they have it over the 100 home run, and they hit it 300. I guess that's the trouble between, find a lot of the guys because everybody know probably the free agent he want to play in the teams that he can win, or he can win one World Series. And then the team have to wake up and then put some nice player in there. They have a Mauer, but Mauer he had to wake up and hit at least 25 home run and then 100 RBI and forget the 300s.
Mm-hmm. So in a perfect world, let's say the Twins play as well as they can play as a team throughout the year. What kind of record do you see them putting up, and how high can they finish in the American League Central this year?
Well, looking at what's going on in the baseball right now, everybody put it a great team. Detroit lost like a 7 free agent, and they go sign so many guys too. They lost the shortstop in the last couple of 10 days in free training. They go get 2 more, and Chicago White Sox kind of finished the last season last year in the last place, and they replaced a lot of stuff this year too. And Cleveland have a good team, and they have a Kansas City. And I think that the Twins will be play 500 also to all these players they have. Hopefully can play more than that. And, but I don't think so he will be a contender for this year.
Mm-hmm. All right, finally, which squad do you see winning the American League Central ultimately? And then give us your World Series matchup and winner for this year.
Well, it's Detroit is probably because they have one of the best starting pitcher, and then now they have a bullpen, and they have the closer Newton, who's coming from secondary for the Twins, and they did a good number in Texas, and I think he going to be helped a lot to get it close to the games, and especially when they go to the playoffs, the World Series. Detroit lost the last 2 years. I think Detroit have all the potential to go back in there and win the division, and then see who will be there for the the division. I think Detroit have all the opportunity to win the World Series because they try to sign a lot of the players, and then the way the Angels, the California, the Pujols wake up and all these hitters they signed in a couple of pitches, and I think they have a chance to get it back to there. And who knows, because baseball sometimes change so fast, and player he go hurt, and he go fell down right away.
Mm-hmm. So what team from the National League do you see maybe putting up a fight and being able to meet up with Detroit in the World Series?
Well, the National League, I think the Dodgers can be in there, the San Luis can be in there. Atlanta, they started put it a couple, they signed a couple guys because the bullpen is started getting so, and then they started pitching 3 guys that go hurt, and now they signed a couple guys. And then San Francisco, they always started slow, and they started finish the throne, and who knows who's going to be in there. This Cincinnati is probably back, and everything can be happening in baseball right now.
All right. So what are your plans for opening day? Going to watch some games today?
Yeah, I'm looking forward, and I'll see if the thing win the first one. And, see what happens. Everybody is reaching over, and I hope so he can pitch great games, and I hope throw too many innings and not too many pitches. He can go to 7, and he can go to 1 guy, and then give it to the closer, and see if they can win the first one. When you win the first one, he can go for the next one.
Mm-hmm. All right, Juan, we really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you in a week. Bye. All right, that's going to about do us here for episode 1 of Twins Talk with Senor Smoke. But remember, we'll be here at 11 a.m. every Monday from now through the end of the 2014 season to talk Twins baseball. And each month, we'll hold a drawing for a set of 4 Twins tickets at Target Field. So don't forget to get your name in the fray right now by sending the word NEW to seniorsmoke@hbci.com for a chance to check out the Royals and Twins on April 12th, courtesy of Fox Sports North. Thanks for joining us. For Juan Berenguer, I'm Landon Evanson, and we'll talk to you in a week.